Oh. Hello, and welcome back to another Andrew's Athletics. Welcome back to another welcome back to another Andrew's Athletics Decathlon training vlog. I just finished my sprint endurance workout. I narrowed it down to make it slightly easier than the last 2 weeks. There we are. So instead of 2 sets of everything, it's 1 set. So I essentially cut it in half. I simply found that with skating and all the other things that I'm doing, sometimes skating an extra day on Friday, all that stuff just combined, having that 2 sets, it just pushes me over my limit, and then stuff starts to hurt. You know, my legs, my calves start to hurt and stuff. I mean, everything always hurts, but you know, when it's a good, there's good hurt and a bad hurt, and that double set, doing that every Saturday combined with everything else, was a bad hurt. So we simplify that down. Still a great workout, definitely challenging every time. And I finished that, so now I'm on to my full recovery. And yeah, I'm going to take an inventory of all the pole vault poles in here. I want to see where our gap is in our line of poles, and I may or may not buy some poles. I'm not sure. There's a sale right now going on, so if I'm going to buy poles, I have to do it now, because I'll get a pole for free. So if I buy 3. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Brought a sheet, the relative stiffness, I'll go all over it, so in a minute. Okay, so here I have a sheet of paper, and this is a relative stiffness chart for pole vault poles. So the way this works is, if I'm holding the end of a 13.6 160, okay, and the next pole, I don't have any more 13.6s, and I want a pole that is the same weight, okay? I don't know why you'd want to do that exactly, but if you want the pole that's the same weight and just longer, you would go over to the 14-foot 150, right? That's 2 hand grips shorter. Each hand grip is roughly 5 pounds, so you get a 6-inch longer pole. It is 10 pounds lighter. That means, and you're still holding it at 13.6, then these poles are the same. The 13.6 160 and the 14-foot 150 is the same stiffness of pole. Why is a chart like this helpful? Well, most of the time you don't want to do that. You want to go up, like say 5 pounds, but you don't have a 5-pound pole, a 5-pound stiffer pole in a 13.6, or that'd be a very, very expensive series to have, you know, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, and then have the same in the next series. Most of the time we could do 10-pound jumps. Anything more than that is considered dangerous. So you have a 13.6 160, but you want a 13.6 170, but you don't have that. So 60, you want a 13.6 170, but you have a 14-foot 160. Well, that's the same pole, right? You're just holding down on the 14, 3 hand grips, right? You're holding down 6 inches. So that's how that works. And this helps you fill in gaps by using different length poles and finding the weight that you want. I'm gonna go over and I'll show you on real poles what this graph actually looks like. Okay, so I think I got something here. Okay, so I think I have something to show you that will explain the stiffness differences on actual poles. So this is a 13 foot 165. 13 foot 165. Okay, we go over here, we find 13 foot 165 right there. Bam. So for some reason I want a pole that will help me transition onto 14 foot poles. Okay, so I want my next hand grip to be a little bit softer, help me go up. There I have 3165. This is a 14 foot 145. Well, some people say, oh, you can't jump on that, it's too soft. Well, no, not really, because when you go down 3 inches, 5 pounds, 3 inches, 5 pounds, 3 inches, 5 pounds, 3 inches, 5 pounds, you end up at 165 pounds on a pole that's rated for 145 pounds. Okay? Say, I don't want to change, I don't want to go lighter, I want to go stiffer. So on the chart, you have a 13 foot 165. Okay, next pole is a 13 foot 170. Well, we don't have a 13 foot 170, but we do have a 14 foot 170, 150, 50, which is this 14 foot 150. It's kind of worn off because it's old, but it's a 150. And if you come all the way down here, bam, 170. So it's, again, rated maybe light for you if you're 160 pounds, but you're jumping on a 170 pound pole. So it doesn't really matter. Anyways, hopefully that explains something. Just look up a relative stiffness chart. It explains everything. This one was developed by Jan Johnson at skyjumpers.com. Okay, so I put the tape out, marked 4, 5, and 6 meters, and just going to do some 3-step kind of finishes, and then I'll go back to, I don't know, 5, 6 step and do some jumps. Okay, so now I'm going to do some longer approaches. Short ones are around, I don't know, 450. So let's see if we can improve on that just a little bit. That was completely off. Okay, so that last one was just the completely wrong stride. Forward. Close to the 5 meter mark. Definitely not getting any height off it. Oh, that's hard on the legs. Gosh. Let's see what that looks like though. that wasn't actually too bad. Actually takeoff was pretty good. Just like stayed behind for a decent period of time. But I used to straight hang and shoot out, and I was a little bit low. Wasn't that bad. I probably could have just held longer, because then I was here. Instead of letting the ground come to me, I went to the ground. I think that was better. I'm not sure where I am on the board. I'm not paying super close attention to that. The jump was better. I was a little past the board, so the distance is kind of, subjective, but the flight felt better. The only thing is, again, when I'm shooting out, instead of my legs coming up and shooting out up here, they're coming and shooting out down here. So I'm going to focus on keeping my eyes up, looking high at the wall. There's a yellow piece of tape over there. Trying to keep my eye up on that, and try and get my feet up to my hands and not take my hands down to my feet. I think that was better, but I forgot to rake the pit. So, not exactly sure what all happened there. I guess I'll be able to see in the video though. Basically the exact same spot. Alright, so I think my legs are a little bit higher. I do, my eyes definitely dropped. I did not look at the yellow piece of tape. That is a hard thing to do. But I felt like my core engaging a bit more, trying to keep my feet up higher, so rake it this time, and this will be our last one. We'll try and put a big one right there. I am hitting the board fairly consistently. I can't tell exactly, but I'm on the board pretty much every single time. So, and then my full run is a couple strides longer than what fits in here. So that'll give me a little bit more distance, a little bit more speed. But I feel like I'm hitting the board good. I'm not out of control when I come up to the board. Sometimes when I do my full run, I get that extra bit of speed, but then I feel like I lose control of the transition, the last 3 steps, and then I blow through instead of getting that up at the end. But all right, first practice. Going decent. Up, eyes up, legs up, everything up. Hopefully that was on the board, because that felt really good. Felt so good I gave up. I was like, oh my goodness, and then my feet sank. Doesn't look like there's no footmark in front. I was ever so slightly over the board there. Just a little bit, just like the tip of my toes. But I'm happy with that. That's a 5+ meter jump. It's good for me. Obviously, I would like to be back 575. That's my outdoor PB. That would blow away my indoor PB. I've never jumped good indoors. Don't know why. Just doesn't seem to happen. Probably because I start the season like really late and only do a few long jump practices. But it's all good. Again though, I gave up on the finish there. I'm not waiting long enough. Like my legs aren't hitting the sand straight. Right? I'm here, they're all good. All I need to do is keep this. I just need to keep this until I hit. But instead, I'm going bang, 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 and I'm losing that 20 centimeters or more. Like if you see, are you still recording? You are. Let me go here. If you see, sand, that's my heel, not my butt. So legs aren't the furthest thing forward, which is clearly incorrect. So something to work on. It's patience in the air, because it does, it's not very far, granted, I get that, but it does feel like a long time in the air. And I'm sure the longer you jump, obviously you're in the air longer, and you have to be more and more patient. Clearly I'm not patient enough even for this distance, so that's okay. Happy to end it on that note, and I have a cool down, but I'm not going to show you guys all that because that's boring. Yeah, so I'm happy to end it on that one. I'm not going to show you my cool down because that's boring and no one wants to watch that. So that's it for this decathlon training vlog. I've not posted, so I have no idea what order any of this is going to come out as. I have a lot of videos wound up, just not posted, so maybe I will do that this weekend. Seems like a good idea. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next decathlon training vlog.